I got it. Okay. Today I'm in a really good mood because I'm going to cook some fries. McDonald's Slayer fries, triple cooked fries, bachelor fries, and curly fries. And what are fries without condiments? Homemade ketchup and mayonnaise. My name's Christophocles, and this is 4K Kitchen.
4K Kitchen.
Here's part 1 of my series on fries. Right off the bat, I built a little fry cutting rig for all the fries in the series. For the McDonald's Slayer fries, my fry cutter is equipped with a 9/32 inch blade. Peel some good old russets and send them through the slicer. Then, rinse the cut fries. You'll notice that the water is cloudy with excess starch. Once the water runs clear, the fries are ready for stage 1 of the cooking process. Bring a big pot of water to 170 degrees Fahrenheit or about 77 degrees Celsius and drop in your cut fries. Leave them to blanch for 15 minutes. I pulled this right from Mickey D's book. To me, it seems the corporate food scientists behind the recipe are getting at the starch trap trick, which we discussed at length in the butterless mashed potato video. Once the 15 minutes have elapsed, strain your fries and weigh them. I've got 636 grams of fries here. Calculate 0.2% of that weight. In my case, it's 1.272 grams. 1.272 grams of what, you may ask? Dextrose. Mickey D's claim is that coating the blanched fries in the dextrose solution will affect a more consistent crust during frying. Dextrose, also known as glucose, is a simple sugar and a vital source of chemical energy for living cells. Dextrose is also the foundation for starch chains. My best guess is that the food scientists behind the recipe are utilizing dextrose in building or modifying the crust of the fries and in getting an even color. Here you can see that I'm tossing the blanched fries in my dextrose solution. Here comes the Slayer part. I'm not frying my fries in vegetable oil like they do under the Golden Arches. No. I'm using lard. It's truly a blast from the past. Now, there are a lot of opinions surrounding the use and consumption of animal fats, but I want to focus on the recipe. Here's a table comparing the percentages of the various fatty acids in lard and vegetable shortening, respectively. I would encourage you to use this table for your own research. My personal note is this: the lard smells and tastes remarkably better than the nut and vegetable oils I've used in the past. Melt the lard in a heavy pot and heat it to 365 degrees Fahrenheit or 185 degrees Celsius. Please be careful. Don't fill the pot more than about a third of the way up. Fries in. Cook the fries for 50 seconds, then fish them out onto a cake rack. Pop the cake rack in the freezer. You may choose to freeze the fries entirely, then thaw them on the day you want to cook them, which is what Mickey D's does, but I'm simply allowing the fries to cool before their second and final frying. Onto that second and final frying. 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius. Mickey D's cooks their fries for 3 minutes on the dot, but I would encourage you to use your intuition here. When the frying bubbles die down a bit and the fries feel solid against the end of your spoon, pull them. Be vigilant because overcooked, oil-drenched fries are the worst. Drain the finished fries in paper towels and season with the salt of your choice. These fries have a deep golden exterior, fantastic crunch, and a pleasantly cooked interior somewhere between fluffy and creamy, but definitely not mealy or gummy. I'm enjoying my fries with homemade ketchup and aioli. For the aioli base, you're gonna need 2 eggs, a lemon, a small head of garlic, and a heaping tablespoon of grain mustard. Separate the yolks from the whites. You may save the whites if you like for breakfast, baking, cocktails, whatever you please. Juice in half of the lemon and add the rest of your ingredients. You're also gonna need 2.5 cups of oil. I'm using a blend of grapeseed, canola, and olive. Here comes the tricky part, emulsifying the oil into the aioli base. While I'm slowly and steadily streaming my oil into the aioli base, let's discuss what's going on here scientifically. Emulsion sauces like aioli are thickened with drops of oil. They're unstable by nature and thick by virtue of this instability. The oil droplets are suspended in the water, and the two can no longer flow as freely, hence the thickness. The suspended oil droplets halt and deflect the normal passage of light through the sauce, hence the opacity. A fine emulsion consists of many oil droplets coated in water. Billions upon billions of droplets in the case of this aioli. Why egg yolks? Egg yolks are said to be emulsifiers as they contain diglyceride phospholipids, which are molecules consisting of 2 fatty acid chains on a glycerol base. Diglyceride phospholipids are water-soluble at the head, where they're polarized, and fat-soluble at their tail end. And so we can imagine how the egg yolks aid in suspending oil droplets. All that said, egg yolks are the kind of magical ingredient in this aioli, but I think it's pretty cool that we can arrive at an understanding of them scientifically. Anyway, you can see that I've been adding my oil slowly and steadily. I like to add a touch of water along the way just to keep the aioli from going too thick too quick. Practice makes perfect when it comes to this recipe. Don't be surprised if your first aioli breaks. This one didn't, and it is delicious. Onto the ketchup. Crush up 4 pounds of very ripe tomatoes and consider wearing an apron. Then, wrap a pound of peeled shallots drizzled with oil in aluminum foil and roast them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Simmer the tomatoes and shallots until the shallots no longer taste of anything. Strain out the spent vegetables and reduce the sauce to your desired thickness. I really liked the taste of this ketchup right when it was thick enough to coat a fry, so I stopped there. I could further thicken the sauce with tomato paste, cornstarch, agar-agar, pectin, or even the spent vegetables, but I'm keeping it on the thin side for further experimentation in vegetable preparation. Here we go with the seasoning. First, the red blend. 3 parts smoked paprika, 2 parts of split pepper, 1 part cayenne. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so I have a taste for smoky barbecue, both dry and slathered with tomato-based barbecue sauce. I'm adding just a bit of this smoky and spicy red blend as a tribute to my roots. You can substitute regular paprika instead of smoked paprika if you don't want any barbecue vibes in your ketchup. Moving on, be sure to season your ketchup to taste with salt, something sweet, and something acidic. As you can see, I'm using honey and lemon juice. I'm also adding a bit of fresh thyme because it's my favorite. And there you have it, homemade ketchup. Cool it in an ice bath, pop it in the fridge, and deploy it when it's time for fries. This concludes part 1 of my series on fries. Stay tuned for part 2.